you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Village of Washingtonville regular board meeting. Today is Tuesday, February 15th. If everyone in the back would please find a seat, be great. Just a few announcements. We're looking to start construction on Bull Road in April. FEMA will be making a site visit on Thursday, March 24th. Residents have received a letter from the insurance company regarding their water line for the shut-off valve on their property into the house. The village did not and has not authorized this or any insurance contracted to solicit any of the residents. The posting was sent out on Facebook was only to inform the residents. Election day is set for Tuesday, March 15th here at the Village Hall. The hours are from 12 noon to 9 p.m. I personally want to thank Everett Smith from the Orange County Post, whose last edition was this past Friday. We wish the employees of the Post well. The village will now be using Times Herald Record for classified ads. At our work session meeting on February 7th, we had a presentation from a representative from Cora, Maine on replacing our water meters throughout the village. We will be meeting with other manufacturers and other representatives prior to making a decision on the new water meters. Okay. Anybody want to add to what I just said? Good? You eat chocolate? Mm-hmm. Nice, huh? Mm-hmm. It's a dinner of champions, I believe, right? Okay. Discussion, resolution, Washingtonville Lacrosse Club, use of Vern Allen Park. It's in your folder. They are looking for the use of Vern Allen Park from March through May, times 5:30 to 7:45. The only,
doesn't that conflict with?
it does. It conflicts with what Little League came in last week. Little League wants to use Vern Allen Park from April through June, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 5:30 to 7 p.m. for T-ball. So I will reach out to Lacrosse to see if they're okay with Monday and Friday. And are we looking to extend it on Saturday with them if they choose? Are we okay with that?
I mean, is there any activities
As
this
long as
year?
there's no events.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, yeah. Any
Yeah.
movies or anything like that this year?
You haven't met with them yet. It's supposed to be on the 17th, this Thursday.
Okay, so I'll reach out to official delegate Leslie.
What days was the baseball using it?
Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Well, they can use it for the month of March.
Yes, they can use it for the month of March, if the field is okay.
True. It might be still very soggy. So we're tabling it?
Yeah, we'll table it, we'll bring it up, make a phone call. Okay, new business number 2, signage permit for Subway. Deputy Mayor Lodano.
Susan Salo sent me the permit from Subway regarding new signage. They want to replace the sign that's there. And if you scroll down in the permit I sent you guys, it's basically, the typical colors of the business. It is showing that it's backlit capable, but they won't be using that to follow our code. But in case they ever move, they could take the sign with them and not have to buy a new sign. But the sign is on page 2 of the document.
Yeah, I think it's right on, what Susan did was put a note, no hookup to electric. Just gonna change it.
Right.
So I think we're really locked into the colors,
Yeah,
because it's
the franchise color, yeah.
same size, I believe, correct?
Yes. So if you guys read this.
I'm okay. Someone want to make a motion, or anybody have questions on it?
Just as long as it's not gonna light up, I'm good.
What's the difference between the old one and the new one? I can't tell.
The color and the font.
Yeah, they just changed the font.
Okay.
It's the newer.
For the new
Yeah.
logo?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay.
Well, they know that it cannot be lit up, backlit.
Right,
I believe, it says right on the building permit, no electric.
correct. And they're aware of it.
Okay,
I'll make a motion?
need a second?
So moved.
Roll call, trustee Kolar,
Yes?
trustee Kolar,
Yes.
deputy mayor Madonna.
Yes.
Yes. 4-0. Repairs to the 2018 Freightliner, trustee Kolar.
I printed out and did a little research on the repairs for the 2018 Freightliner. That's the newest truck we have. That's the one with the wing that Carl usually drives. And it seems like, if you look at the bid, it just says a filter for $2,400. It's not that simple. It's actually a mechanical device. It's about 2 foot wide by 1 foot high, metallic. It's almost like a turbo. And what it does is it cycles through the exhaust gases for the diesel engine. So it's not just, it looks like just a filter, it's quite extensive. And I Googled the price, it's actually a good price for that. So I think we need to get it done with that, because that could be a piece of truck. So
This is through Campbell, right?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify that, you know, it's not like an air filter for $2,400. It's
What's the total cost of it?
$4,319.35. $15.90 is the labor, $27.29 is the parts.
Yeah, that truck was, I think we paid $172,000 for it.
It's the newest truck we have.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody want to make a motion on that in a second?
Also,
We need a motion.
did I read it?
No, I thought you said I seconded before the motion.
Oh.
She did.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
We need to make a motion.
Oh, I made the motion. I thought Rich already said,
And then
I'm not even-
he proposed.
Second?
I'll
I
second.
know I fell in the yard, but
Okay. Roll call, trustee Kolar,
Yes.
trustee Kolar,
Yes.
deputy mayor Lodato.
yes.
Yes. Okay, discussion on snow removal on village sidewalks. Trustee Kolar?
Well, just kind of, I'm like I reiterate from last week. I think that we have a lot of new residents in the area who need to know the rules, and unless people tell them or their neighbors tell them, they're not going to know. So I think we need to inform them somehow, whether it's attach it to the tax bill or a robocall or something along those lines. I think we need to look at, we talked about the 5-hour rule or ordinance that when the snow stops, it's supposed to be cleared. Just Super Bowl Sunday when we had the snow, I drove by the village hall at 11 o'clock at night and ours wasn't cleared. So like, we also have to be consistent with following the rules. If there is a rule that says, or maybe you don't do it on Sundays, I don't know I have to look at the ordinance, I have to get a copy of that.
It's 365. Well, it's not, it's like Tuesday or Wednesday, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but what about like, if it snows at 11 o'clock at night?
It does have that, it's in the E-code, I
That's
should
what
have
I-
printed it out, yeah.
I think it's 5 hours, right?
Yeah, but I'm
After
talking
that.
about
Or so.
after if it stops snowing in the middle of the night, you don't have to do it in the middle of the night. You can do it after 8 AM, you can do it.
Okay, but like, it's supposed to be at 8 a.m.?
Chief, do you have that?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, it's in our E-code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you bring up a good point, you know, I think this was always on our mind, that we can't expect a resident to clean their sidewalk when our sidewalk's not clean.
Right.
We have to do something, so I think the robocall, I think that will work.
Hopefully we're done for this year.
I don't think so, I think
No,
we're
we'll
gonna
have
get
one more.
much, we still have a lot, much to go.
Yeah, it says within 5 hours after the cessation of every fall of snow. Every fall of snow, every last snowflake, I don't know. And then it says, however, that the time between the hours of 6 PM to 6 AM shall not be included in the
Right.
above period of 5
Right.
hours.
So you have until 11 a.m. then?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
So on, like, for example, if that happened on Monday, when the kids were going to school, they would be walking in the snow on the sidewalk here,
If it was an overnight snowstorm.
which
yeah.
it was, well, it wasn't, but it wasn't cleared anyway.
No, it should have been done then.
Well, it
well, I
wasn't.
don't know, it says that the 6 to 6 is included in the 5 hours, so doesn't that mean it just ends at 6 AM?
No, I think it's saying if the storm ends anytime between 6 PM and 6 AM, you don't, it's 5 hours after that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's 5 hours after 6
yeah,
AM.
after
Right.
6 AM.
Technically 11 AM.
But if
Okay.
it stops snowing at 4 PM, then you
Then
have
you've
5
got-
hours, you gotta have it done by 9
9
PM.
p.m., okay.
Okay.
But that doesn't help students walking to school.
Well, it would if,
Right.
right, but if we had snow during the night, and then the next morning, let's say Sunday was Monday,
Right.
and we had snow, and it stopped during the night, and they didn't cancel school or do a 2-hour delay, all those kids are gonna be walking through the village
Right.
or on the streets, which is probably where they would end up
And they
walking.
have, I think that they do that in front of
Betty's, they were doing it in front of Dunkin' Donuts.
Right from AutoZone up to the school, I believe.
But I think a lot of time, I could be wrong with having kids in school, if it snows overnight, they're gonna have a 2-hour delay or cancel school. They're not gonna have kids going in at
You
7
would
o'clock
hope,
in
you
the
would
morning.
hope, yeah. But like even last Wednesday, I was walking around by your street, and
I saw that.
and Hayes, there wasn't people, they didn't do it. And then there's a lot of times where they bring the snow and they just pile it at the end of the curb or the end of the corner, and then you can't get to across the street to get over. So people can't do that either, you know.
Yeah, no. In fact, there's a rule in here about that. You can't block right-of-ways or anything.
Is it the residents doing it, or
Don't
it's
know. Don't know. I would assume that
Is
that
it
looked like it was piled up from a
DPW
DPW
as well
truck.
as
Yeah.
the residents are doing it? I'm still waiting to have that meeting with the state.
Mhm.
I don't think they want to hear from us, because they know we're right with,
With the
you want
bid.
us to remove your snow,
Mhm.
which you're responsible for it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else, between the town and the village, and the state rather, we're supposed to be doing a lot. It's interesting.
Yeah. Am I gonna get any help?
So you're thinking you keep the same overtime grace period overnight?
I just want to I want to read it all, just because I'm just from what you're saying.
I think by the time we do this, it's gonna be next year. So
Yeah, I don't think we
because
really have to
go
change
local
everything
law,
now.
Local law and public hearings and things like that.
But in the meantime, I agree with Jimmy that we can do a robocall maybe the next door.
I think so, yeah, and so, now Mark is supposed to come in and show us how to do the robocalls, how to sign people up for the robocalls.
Okay.
When we had the blitz, let's call it,
Mhm.
we had a lot of people who did sign up for it.
Is there any message that we can put on the village tax bill about?
I don't know if there's room for it, but maybe we could put another lettering with the tax bill.
Okay, or even on the water bill? Not that it won't
That would
help
be
right now,
April,
that won't be April.
Yeah,
A letter is a good idea, inside the tax bill,
Yeah.
because that's a regular envelope.
but that's
It's not
only, that's,
pre-sealed,
a lot of people, including myself, are escrow.
True,
So that
good point,
bill is going to the bank.
Mhm.
good point.
I could know. Thinking a lot of.
Yeah, so we could flood the banks with.
Is there a way
The
to
same
tell how many
message.
people are getting escrowed, or we don't know that?
It's, how long did it take us to put the packages together? Like
Oh, it wasn't too bad.
3 hours?
Yeah.
4 hours? So 8 hours. The bank, and they started doing that now, they started sending in the list of escrow accounts. I think for now, it's just gonna be robo. That's all it really could be. We can post it on the website, we can post it on Facebook and the robo.
Okay,
And we have to figure out what we're going to do as we move forward.
okay. And the businesses also, they need to be aware of what they need to do. Especially the ones that are not in business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other items? Okay, public comment on agenda items.
Oh, wait.
Person in the back, oh, you're good, okay. So,
Susan Wolski, 24 South Street. Yeah, I gotta say, this is one of the few snowstorms the past couple weeks. It was not good. And as usual, the South Street Bridge is the orphan in town, is adopted stepchild. The DPW is supposed to clear it. A lot of times they'll only clear one side of it and not the other, and the kids do walk on both sides. I noticed the walkways, I don't know what the proper term would be, the crosswalks, especially down by Chase and those intersections, were all shoveled in.
Which Chase, the one in town or the one further out of town?
The
cemetery?
one right down the road here, the new
I'm thinking
Chase.
the new Chase, okay.
Yeah.
The old
Can
Chase.
we go back to the South Street Bridge? Isn't that a state road? That's, why should it be WD?
The bridge, the road is Route 208, State Route
Right.
208. The sidewalk belongs to the village. It's always been my understanding. It's always been the village DPW that I've had to call year after year that, by the way, you forgot.
that doesn't mean it belongs to the village.
Right.
No, but it's always
I hear
been,
you, and this is
We can
part of the
check.
conversation that I want to have with the state. You know, what are we supposed to be doing?
so I'm just saying, in the 25
Yeah.
years that
No,
I've lived
and
here, it's
not
been
doubting
the
you. I'm not
DPW that's,
doubting you, but-
That
that's
doesn't
taking
mean
care of
it's
it.
Right, yeah, you know, like, my argument with, my discussion with the state, well, actually, Assemblyman Schmidt's office, the state plows 208 and 94.
Correct.
The store owners come out and they move the snow against the curb, sometime along the curb. It's really the state who should be cleaning up the snow.
They should be coming with a bucket picker and
Right.
scooping it.
Instead, we've been doing that.
So, and I don't have that answer for you. I can just say it's a safety hazard.
Definitely.
You know, and I know if I wanted to walk the streets, I would not have been able to. So,
So hopefully, you know, all these answers, but I think there's more questions than answers on this. No one wants to say the sidewalks belong to us.
no, nobody wants to, you know,
But getting back to what Trustee Colo was saying is, we have to have our house in order before we go ahead and.
right, you have to know
But then
what,
again, the way it works, if a violation is given, correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, right? Violation is given out for not shoveling a sidewalk. It's like 30 days before it's heard in front of this board. So maybe it has to be a regular fine from the police department, and not a violation, it becomes a fine.
but you're probably better off without route.
It's like a ticket, yeah. You know, I think the grass, what we could do with grass is, you know, grass will just continue to grow, all right? And so that could be the violation, you have the 30 days for that. But I believe with snow, it needs to be a summons.
So we have to change that.
Yeah,
Have to change it.
yeah.
It's an eminent safety
Yeah.
factor.
Yeah.
If you would ask, I'm just talking public, but I know getting older and having to walk and navigate that kind of stuff is, it's hard.
Well, between, you know, our code officials, our DPW, as well as our police department, we should know who, and it's probably the same frequent flyers that are doing their.
Or vacant properties. You know, like the old Chase
Yes.
wasn't done until 3 days later.
Well, we went out, we hired a contractor to do a vacant house, and that landlord will be billed as soon as we get the bill, we're just going to forward the bill on to them. It's like high grass, you know, we bring in an outside contractor. DPW can't work on private property.
No, and I get that, and it's
you
a
know,
whole
And that's,
insurance thing.
it works well with the grass, but we're okay the 30 days with the grass. We can't be okay with the snow. Snow has to be done immediately.
I know there's such a crowd waiting to talk.
Well, anybody on that side, you're good. You're happy with everything that's going on, okay. We have,
Did I miss something? Did I miss, is this public comment?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, did I miss something?
Oh, I knew that was you, but I didn't ask you.
Were you just talking, Diane Mack, 25 Capitol Drive? Or were you just talking about the ice?
Agenda item, that's all.
Oh, so it's not public comment?
Well,
Yeah, it was on
it's
agenda items.
Or now we can move into non-agenda items. Anything you want to talk about?
Floor is
We could be
yours.
here for a long time. Well, you seem like you're talking about the snow and the
Yes.
ice and stuff like that. At the last meeting, you said that a robocall was gonna go out. Did it ever go out?
No, we said we were going to put them out, but we never
Okay,
formally did it, but they will be going out now.
okay, so this past Saturday, whatever, it snowed. It was a weird snow, like some of the snow just disintegrated. And then you didn't have to go out and shovel because it was just gone. It either got all blown away or whatever. But the people who didn't shovel their sidewalks from the last storm, it's still there. I put incident reports in, it's the same offenders, they don't clean their sidewalks. So at what point are you gonna start enforcing the law?
The only thing we can do now is what's on our code book with the violation
Well,
and bring them in. But what we were talking about when you came in, it has to be a summons. But in order to do that, I'm sure we have to go to a new local law on it. So we'll have to issue summons, violations, and I guess the first time they'll be heard is the end of March.
Diana, on North Street, there was somebody who didn't have their sidewalks from the previous storm
right,
shoveled. And Joe called a contractor to come and shovel the snow
right.
at their expense, of course.
But, it's just, people should take care of their property. That's just my opinion. I
And no
don't
one's
know.
just, I think everyone's in agreement with it.
Right,
Sure.
and the people who don't
Well,
should be,
that's part of it that I think we need to let people know, because there's so many new people in the village now that we need to let them know that that's the
right,
rule.
exactly. that
Unless the
this
neighbor
is-
tells them, they're not gonna know.
Exactly.
I remember my neighbor asking me about the leaves and the sticks, they saw them out, but they didn't know what the deal was with it. So, unless somebody tells them these things, so we have to let them know.
Yep, exactly.
So isn't there a way when you get the TP 584 to update your tax records of property ownership that letters can be sent of expectations? Did I just talk French?
Oui,
little
je ne
bit,
comprends
yeah.
pas.
So when a property is sold, there's a form called the TP 584, which notifies the municipalities that there's a change in ownership for tax purposes, where the tax bill should go. Isn't there any way, once you receive notification that there's a new property owner, that you could have some kind of letter go out with expectations for property maintenance?
Have we ever gotten this?
I don't know if we ever received notice of the sale of property. Is that
The
coming to the?
town would get it then. If you don't get it, then
Right,
the
I
town
was
would
just gonna
get
say,
it.
is it going to
Assessor
the
probably.
town
Yeah,
or the assessor?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the assessor.
So I'm just saying, you get that
So
notice.
he or she should be forwarding.
Well, you would have to, I guess, make that request
Yeah,
to Bloom
okay.
and Grow, and then you would know when something changes hands.
Welcome to the village. Working on water.
Okay, request
I mean,
from town.
Your other trigger should be when they call for the final water reading.
Like for them to tell their,
Well, if they're calling for a final reading, that means there's a closing coming up.
right,
So I know a lot of other municipalities, like Wallkill and places like that, when we call for final readings, they're on the phone saying, well, who's the new owner? They don't want to wait that, 6 weeks for the county clerk to process everything. They want to know then and there.
I wonder if there's something that we could put out to the seller to bring up during closing. But we don't know who's selling.
Right.
That's,
It goes to attorneys, like I said, the title company. The title company is the one who's gonna want that final water bill paid. So,
And we get phone calls here.
right,
I'm
that's,
closing tomorrow, can we have the final?
Yeah, right.
delivery? Absolutely not. You have to give us 2 weeks. So they've been putting money in escrow for that.
right, but they know at that point that
Yeah.
property's gonna title transfer. So can't the form that you send over with whatever that final
We
reading?
could.
Or
develop
say,
a
well,
form.
we're not gonna release the final reading until you give us the new property owner's name.
We could do that.
Blackmail them a little bit, hold it hostage. And then you have that record immediately, instead of waiting the 6 weeks.
Let's look at that.
What we could do is come up with a letter.
I mean, and you don't have to change code or anything to do that, that's just a procedural difference how you treat things.
But I'm gonna reach out to the town to see if they actually get that form. And,
I'm not sure it's the 5217 or the 584, but it's one of those two
what does
that,
TP stand for? Do you know?
Tax papers.
I don't know, to be honest.
Taxes.
One is a RP, real property, and one is a TP.
Tax papers.
One is 5217 and one is 584.
Okay.
So, and another thing is you might want to start looking into text as opposed to robocall, sending out a text to residents.
You'd be surprised how many residents we have who.
You have over 7,000, you
Yes.
probably have close to 9,000 phone numbers here.
Okay. On the water bills, there's no telephone numbers, and they don't want to release. it.
No, I'm talking about the notifications in general. You have people sign up for robocall notifications, like when there's a bear or roads are gonna be closed. Can't you also be texting people rather than just calling them?
If we have their phone number, I guess. Yeah.
I'm just saying, because I know a lot of time, like my kids,
Yeah.
getting their voicemail, getting them to check their voicemail, good luck with that.
Yeah.
And you do have an under 40 crowd that's moving in. However, a text message, they're more likely to respond to. And there are programs that are easily integratable into software or websites to set up for texting.
Okay.
If I can set up 200 texts at a time through my CRM, you guys can do it too.
Want a part-time job?
No,
No.
I sell real estate, that's my job.
I'm sure that if we have their phone numbers on it.
It depends if it's a cell phone or not, some people actually still have landlines.
Yeah.
And
496.
most people don't have
I
landlines.
know with the town, I get text messages and I get the calls.
You
That's
have
a
the
la-
option of put both
It's
in.
probably.
My landline, my house, my cell phone, and I get texts.
Okay.
You said that guy's coming in this week or next week?
Next week, the week after.
Okay.
Right, those are two good, actually 3 good things for,
You said you had more? You had a list or no?
Yeah, I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Your turn.
They gave us
Oh,
the
it's my
floor.
turn again?
Yeah.
We're gonna go.
We're going to that side of the room. Watch out, the crowd is bad.
Okay, not a problem. Just a question. Being there was, the holiday and Zoom meetings, I'm not very technical or anything. I noticed that there were no wreaths or banners hung up this year. We also have those other lights that we put up. They weren't put up this year for any special reason.
They don't work.
Why don't they work? What
They don't
happened to
work.
them?
And we decided as a board that we weren't going to hang up the wreaths on the poles. We decorated the poles. You might not like that, but that's okay.
Okay, I was just wondering what happened. That's all, I'm just wondering. My other question is, I put in a couple of incident reports for the light across the street from 44 Decker. It's been out for 2 years now. Finally, the one outside Vern Allen exit got turned on, so that's a good thing, because it's pitch black down there, it's dark. But across the street from 44 Decker, it's not, 44 Decker, it's on that side of the street, it's woods, it's pitch black. I mean, people walk at night. I think it's a safety hazard. It's just my opinion, but that's what I think.
Well, lights should work.
Huh? Right,
Lights should be
exactly.
working.
I mean, and my other question is, are we having a Memorial Day parade
I have
this
a meeting
year?
on Thursday. I have a meeting on Thursday with the events group, and I will ask that question.
But the events is gonna approve it, or say there's gonna be a parade?
Well, they usually have a list of things that they're going to do, and I'll find out if they have the time to do it, and if not, we'll open it up to the public and see if anyone is willing to volunteer and do it.
Because we've always had a parade.
Always, yes. We always did.
Right, that's what I'm saying. COVID came, yes, but we could have a carnival, I think we could have a parade. Honor our veterans.
It's just trying to find the volunteers to do it, that's all. It's trying to find the volunteers to do these things, that's all. I'll tell them.
Okay, I thought it was pretty sad last year that we didn't have a parade.
I don't think, well, I don't want to say, I think other communities did have a parade.
Right,
Yes,
and we didn't. But we've always had a parade.
yes. But we
So-
need help from the public.
Okay,
You're the manager of it.
well, get me in touch with who I need to be in touch with, and we'll
You're the
get this.
captain.
Huh?
You're the captain of the parade.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but let's get it organized. It's February, next week, 2 weeks,
Yeah.
it's March. May will be here before you know it.
How does that go to what you were saying, Chief, with the permits on that?
You get the date, if it's gonna be Monday, Memorial Day, as it's been in the past, we have to apply for a permit through the state, which whoever's gonna run the parade, I can give all the permit paperwork to.
Well, it's probably going to be the village running the parade, right? Am I talking in line?
I don't really know.
Is the
remember
village
what we
running,
did
or
in the
do we
past.
approve it?
Usually the events gave us the paperwork, and I don't,
Right.
It's two different things. If the village is running it, then we do the paperwork. If an individual or a group is gonna do it, they fill out the paperwork.
Well, I think,
yeah, events did it in the past, and I don't remember there being paperwork.
It was always privately done.
Yeah, VFW did it for a while, and then certain individuals did it.
but then, are we,
It's not hard, it's just the proper way
the
to do it.
insurance, the insurances?
Yeah.
So now we're asking if it was the events committee, and they did a great job when they passed 5 years. Do they have insurance, or they're using the village insurance? So if it's the village insurance, the village should be sponsoring it through the events committee. The events committee should be doing everything, organizing the parade, and then handing it off to the village for insurance, which means that we would have to fill out the paperwork for just 94, right? Not, what is it, the whole route?
Yeah, 94 to With the same
I would ask